Okay, today we are looking at 1st Nephi chapter 3, the very last chapter in chapter 3, 31, and the very first chapter, chapter 4. Remember, there were no chapter breaks given by Nephi in the small plates or Mormon in the large plates. These were put in later. This is kind of a weird break for a chapter. Probably shouldn't have been done. But it says, and after the angel had departed, Laban and Lemuel again began to murmur, saying, how is it possible that the Lord will deliver Laban into our hands? Behold, he is a mighty man, and he can command 50, yea, even he can slay 50. Then why not us? And it came to pass that I spake unto my brethren, saying, let us go up again unto Jerusalem, and let us be faithful in keeping the commandments of the Lord. For behold, he is mightier than all the earth. Then why not mightier than Laban and his 50? Yea, or even than his tens of thousands. So we're going to talk about this term that shows up 3 times in describing Laban's army, and it's called his 50 in this verse. How is this maybe one of the top 5, top 10 evidences of the authenticity of the Book of Mormon? Alright, this one is very straightforward and very easy to understand. In 1916, a tablet was found, letter of Usur to his brother. So this is a tablet that was found, a clay tablet, was found in 1916, so nearly 100 years after the publication of the Book of Mormon again. And this is research done on the tablet by a guy named Joseph O. Ford, not a member of the church, an antiquities expert. Says this, as to the 50s who were under your orders. We can see from the translation of the tablet this is taking place during the time of Nebuchadnezzar. Now a lot of articles reference this as a tablet written by Nebuchadnezzar. I don't think that it was written by Nebuchadnezzar, but it was referring to actions that were taken by Nebuchadnezzar. So we know that this dates it perfectly with Lehi, Nebuchadnezzar being a contemporary of Lehi. So this is what the document says. As to the 50s who were under your orders, those gone to the rear or fugitives, return them to the ranks. 50s. They're grouped by 50s with commanders and leaders over 50 men. It's right here on the clay tablets that armies in this area were grouped by 50. This is the interpretation made by Joseph O. Ford. In these days, it is interesting to note that the indication here is that the Babylonian army or platoon contained 50 men. It gets even more interesting. Not only does it contain 50 men, but look at how it's written. As to the 50s, not as to the 50 men, or not as to the group of 50 who were under your orders. It's the 50s, as though it's a title. Now go back to the verbiage used in the Book of Mormon. We have 2 bullseyes here. First one is a fictional account could have easily used the number 50 as it could have used the number 50,000. If Joe Smith is making this up, he literally has almost an infinite number of possibilities, but let's just keep it realistic because Hugh Nibley uses the number 50,000. So Hugh Nibley says he could have just as easily used 50,000. So we have a 1 in 50,000 chance of hitting the bullseye of the number of people in a platoon. Not only did he hit that bullseye, but the verbiage phrased the exact way in the tablet as it is in the Book of Mormon, using the 50s as the name of the platoon, almost a title. What are the chances of getting this right? Like I said, Hugh Nibley pointed out that they could have easily used 50,000. Just using that, a little bit tongue-in-cheek, but he could have chosen any number. He chose 50 for the size of the platoon. The chances of him guessing the right number between 1 and 50,000, 0.00002% chance of guessing that correctly. Joseph Smith just hit the lottery again.